Okay, so we've got a HP Pavillion G6 laptop here with a clearly broken screen. And so today we're going to do a step-by-step on how to replace this screen. And the first thing you want to do is make sure that the laptop is powered off and unplug. Here, look at this. And you're going to want to flip it over and actually take the battery out, and you can do that by pulling on this lever right here. And that battery will just pop out, and you can place it to the side. And then flip it back over, and then you can safely work on it. Next thing you want to do, there's actually flat screw covers on the corners of the laptop, and you're going to want to pop those off. So we use an X-Acto knife and come around the edge, get underneath. It's like a little sticky adhesive screw cover. Black little sticker. And you're going to want to place that aside, and we've gone ahead and already taken that off the other side. And then that frees up those screws, and then you can take, it's like a little electronic screwdriver, and it's got I think a 1-bit on it. And you're going to come in, and just take those little screws out. And sometimes it can be kind of tricky to... Okay, and once you've got that screw removed, you want to place that in a cup on the side so that it doesn't get lost. And then you come and do it on the other side. Okay, and then after you get those screws out, you're going to want to take off this plastic bracket that's going around the edge of the screen here. So it's probably easiest to come from the side and get your fingers underneath, and you can start to pull it away from the screen, and you'll want to listen for like a snapping sound of it coming off like that there, and just work your way around the edge of the screen. And if it's sticking in some place, you can move on around the screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then you can just lift that off and put it to the side. So the next thing you're going to want to do is remove these screws up here on the top using the screwdriver that we used before. And you'll want to place them in a container separate from your first screws here. Screws here on the side, and you can actually kind of pull the screen away from the backing to help get to those easier. So we'll get one here. You'll see that it's starting to come away from this metal frame around, and then you want to repeat that over on the other side. Get it here. And put that in a cup separate from the ones that you took off the top, because they're going to be a different size, the ones on the side. And then at that point, this screen is actually freed from the brackets on the side, and it's connected by this adhesive from the video cable in the back. So you want to carefully peel that off there. You'll see that right there. And you're able to actually lift this out. And then here it's being connected now by that video cable. Okay, so pulling that adhesive back, and you also want to pull it up real carefully back here. And then once you've got that lifted out, you can pull that connector right there. And then it can be connected here at the bottom. So carefully peel that off as well. And now that screen is completely freed. Now we've got the new screen here, and we're going to flip it over and put that video cable back in. Slide it in there, and you want to make sure it's nice and connected. It'll slip right into that slot there. And then place that adhesive back down. Okay, and then you can actually set this back in and press that adhesive back on, and the screen will fit right back into those little metal frames right there. And you want to lean the screen back so that it doesn't come flipping forward. You don't want to break it again. Once you've got that inside that metal frame, you're going to want to screw the screws in on the sides. So, probably start with the one on the bottom. Make sure it's laid in there nice and tightly. Actually, let's start with the one on the top here, and then I can peel that frame back. Okay. And then you walk that around, do the top one and then the bottom ones here.
Make sure it's facing the
Okay, and once you've got the 4 side screws on nice and tight, then you can grab your cup with your 2 top screws and screw in the top screws. Much faster. Okay, the 4 screws on the side and the 2 screws on the top are all in place. Then you can lay this bracket back down and clamp it shut, and you'll hear those snapping sounds again. I like to get the corners first. The sides coming together. Make sure you press down on the bottom as well, so it's nice and secure and firm all the way throughout. And then you're going to take the screws on the front that had those little covers that went on top of them and screw those in. Alright, and then once you screw it in, you can take that little black plastic cover and lay that back down and just stick that on there, and it'll slip into the little crevices. And just flatten that out with your hand or with another tool. Make sure it's stuck on nice and tight. And then repeat that on the other side. Nice and tight. Get that little adhesive sticker. At that point, you can close it up, flip it over, and remember to put that battery back in. And I've got it backwards, that won't help. And I'll just click right in. Then you can turn it over. And let me plug it in so I can turn it. And voila. Good as new. Alright, so yeah, I'm Esther, I'm 16 years old, and that's how you replace a laptop screen.